The next big game release for this year has arrived. The Dragon's Dogma sequel, Dragon's Dogma 2. Even though it's been blowing up the gaming scene, maybe not in the most positive way, but it still has arrived on GeForce Now. And there's still some controversy, even here on the platform. And no, I'm not talking about microtransactions. Let's see what I'm talking about. Let's first start with the priority tier. Now you're probably wondering, why no free tier? And I've been over this before. This is a new, fully priced game. Generally, if you can afford this and its microtransactions, God forbid, you can probably afford a paid GeForce Now tier. Just keeping it real. We do all tier videos for games like Halo Infinite because they have a free multiplayer mode, so plenty of free tier users will jump on that. I'll probably continue doing this going forward. Also, as you'll see, there's a good chance that you won't even want to play on the free tier. Let me explain. Now the priority tier is comprised of two different machine configurations, the RTX 2080 and the RTX 3060 respectively. Both usually perform pretty similarly in most games, but not all the time.
Well, I'm sure there's still room for improvement.
Is that the case here? Let's see. First thing, this game has shaders. Now what was weird is that we started with the 2080 configuration and the shaders took 10 minutes to load. GeForce Now almost kicked us as we waited. The next time we loaded it on a 3060, it wasn't nearly as long. Now I'm not saying this will happen to you, but we found this weird. Now let's talk graphics. The priority tier is known to stream the game at 1080p up to 60 FPS with ray tracing able to be activated. GeForce Now actually has the game set to low settings with ray tracing turned off. Not a good sign. Now is this the correct way to go? Well, we'll turn things to high with ray tracing on and put both configurations side by side in the same fight. Yeah, both perform pretty similarly here with ray tracing on, with the 2080 maybe performing a bit better, but Nvidia was right to turn ray tracing off on default. They can probably get away with high settings or medium to be on the safe side. But yes, this game does have performance issues, and even more so on the Ultimate tier. Let's jump into that. Now the Ultimate tier is designed to stream games up to 4K resolution and up to 120 FPS. So those with high refresh rate monitors can really benefit here. Usually the Ultimate tier can handle this feat with no problem. Until today. Now to be honest though, this isn't GeForce Now's fault. This game needs work. It's like they launched at 90% finished. Now if you've noticed, Nvidia is using FSR 3 as their scaling technology instead of DLSS, their own scaling technology. Why? It's broken. Apparently they're currently fixing it. Here's another thing. Frame generation also isn't an option. Now people have found out that it's hidden within the game and modders have managed to activate it. The problem is that GeForce Now users can't use mods, so we'll have to wait for an official patch to get it. And this game needs frame generation. Badly. You thought priority was bad. We set things to high with ray tracing off, mind you, and yes, FSR is already set to performance. If you set it to ultra performance, the visuals just look terrible. FSR has never looked good, and I prefer DLSS a lot more. Are you prepared to play at low settings just to hit an FPS average close to 100? You'll have to do that here. With high settings, you'll hit a range between 55 and 70 at 4K. You'll only get 120 FPS in the menus. Sigh, another case of premature game ejaculation. I guess Capcom is dealing with a media storm baby right now because of it. Now my overall thoughts are to wait for the updates for this game. They are coming. Especially if you want to play this game at the most optimal settings. The fixing of DLSS and frame generation will enhance this game tremendously. Now in the meantime, let us know your thoughts on this in the comments below. And if you like this overview of Dragon's Dogma 2 on GeForce Now, give us a like. Also make sure to join as a member of the channel or join our Patreon and Discord in the links below. And above all else, make sure to subscribe to keep it locked right here at the only place where you can do battle in gaming heaven, Cloud Gaming Battle.